Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today for another breaking Bitcoin market update. Of course, it is February 20th, guys. Wednesday, halfway through the week, guys. And already it's been a heck of a few exciting days, guys. It's been really good times in the market. Honestly, great opportunities for trading. And we've been busy. So, February 20th, 2019. Year of our Lord. Of course, I'm Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at CrackingCryptocurrency.com. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic this morning. Let's see. Watched an interesting interview with CZ on Ivan on Tech's channel. That was a pretty good interview. I recommend you guys go check that out if you haven't already. Binance launching their testnet for their DEX, for their decentralized exchange. The ICO in 4 days, I believe, for BNB's DEX. So that's kind of interesting. And for that reason alone, I will not be touching BNB USDT. Not going to touch that, baby, guys. You guys know the strategy. We've talked about it at length, guys. Whenever there is a hard fork or an airdrop or a coin split or whatever, it doesn't matter what it is. Whenever there's a potential news event, we buy the rumor and we sell the news. That's been my strategy with airdrops and hard forks, whether you want to talk about Monero and Monero V, whether you want to talk about nulls, whether you want to talk about Zcash and Bitcoin Private, whether you want to talk about Bitcoin Cash, whatever you want to talk about. Anytime there's been an airdrop, we've pretty much bought the rumor and sold the news, guys. So BNB USDT, which is the only, I'm really only interested in trading tether pairs right now against altcoins. Really more interested in keeping my BTC over on MEX. So that's how I would prefer to play it. I think that's the better risk to reward ratio. Now, we'll take a look at BNB actually when we get over to that. So I just want to point out, guys, because, you know, again, this is not, I don't do gotcha videos, man, but man, I just want to give a shout out and rest in peace to the people that went long yesterday in the chat. You know, I was talking about this, and again, this is not a, you know, I'm right and you're wrong. Listen to everything that I say. It's not that, but I just laid out, in my opinion, the technical view of the chart and the correct statistical movement to make. I had a lot of people, remember what we were talking about yesterday? Like, guys, Russia is buying $10 billion worth of Bitcoin right now. You know, Putin is logged into his computer right now. I'm watching him live on air. And I just saw, like, live on Reuters, he just clicked the market buy button. He just clicked it, guys. We're going to the moon right now. 6K. Buy your bags. Well, what happened? Down. as often happens. As I said yesterday, the classical saying in trading is, when everybody's yelling, you should be selling. So we're going to the moon. Probably a good time to take profit on your bags. And when everybody's saying, we're going to 1,000, oh my God, the price is so low, probably a good time to pick up a speculative investment. It doesn't work every time, but it's a pretty good rule of life. If you just, when everybody around you, when your Uncle Bob, who doesn't know anything about cryptocurrency, is saying, you know, it's 19,000, we're going to 50K, you know, when Richard Hart is changing his Twitter handle from 15,000 BTC to 25,000 BTC at 18,000. There are lots of telling signs when things are about to turn around. So let's go over to the website real quick. Of course, let's talk about this here real quick, guys. We still do have, of course, the X42 Masternode giveaway. Very generous for X42 to donate 5 Masternodes worth of X42 coin, guys. Proud supporter of the show. Make sure you guys go check them out. We have 562 entrants so far in the giveaway. Very pleased. This one is doing very well. 11 days left, guys. So just head on over to x42.crackingcryptocurrency.com. And you guys can get thrown into the competition. You can log in with any of your existing social media accounts. You don't need to create a separate account for this. Get points for, you know, liking, subscribing, all the good stuff, guys. Just support the community, man. Crypto's been hit hard, guys, so just make sure that you go out and do support those good projects. Not a recommendation to buy. That's not what this is about. This is about supporting the community and growing the cryptocurrency community, guys. All right, let's move on. And let's get to the charts, guys. Interesting stuff going on in the daily. Of course, we will start off with Mr. Bitcoin. Let's go over here to Bitcoin. We will start as we generally do on the weekly, just to get a nice, beautiful overview of everything. All right, so what does this represent? Red line represents the level of resistance that we did break above on the intra-week basis. I had plotted out the dotted blue cyan lines were my upside targets. Both were hit, both were successfully achieved. And as I said yesterday, no longer looking in this market scenario for long opportunities. We're just too close to local resistance at 4,096 on the BitMEX chart. Just suicidal, in my opinion, to be looking for a long. The movement has been made, the profit has been taken. A healthy pullback would be natural at this point in time. And we'll just reevaluate after a pullback. Again, my opinion has not significantly changed, that we have seen a break in market structure on the daily time frame. By breaking the resistance trend line, we broke that actually, if we go to the tether chart, we can actually see that we broke that quite clearly earlier. So that was a good leading indicator of bullish price appreciation. However, we have hit, in my opinion, both upside price targets, and now price just stalling out, big wicks to the upside, unnatural volume, even here on the daily chart. Again, the level here for price appreciation is another 4% potentially to the upside. If we want to look at the weekly time frame, again, the major resistance locally is the let's go ahead and throw off bar repainting here for a second so we can accurately view the typical colors that you would see. So just if this is your first time to the show, instead of green and red, I use white and black because I'm not a huge fan of Christmas. And I find that the colors green and red make individuals perform impulsive buying and selling. Because red is naturally tied into your psychology, as is green, whereas white and black institute calm, patient, methodical trading, which I think is a key to success. So weekly bullish equilibrium block, where we have a dominant downtrend, and then we have a pause in market structure, a shift in market structure, strong dominant move to the downside, bullish equilibrium block right here, representing a shift in market dynamics. We do continue on to the downside, form a local bottom, a range bottom, if you will, and then we pull back up. Why? Because the bulls sense weakness in this level. So this doesn't take a genius to look at this and say, hey guys, if we go above 40.96, looks like a breakout. But when we get close to 40.96, you do have to assume the logical movement is to look for opportunities to enter into a short. That's just the technical setup. That's the classical way to trade this. All right. You can see here that my secondary take profit target was the lower bound of the weekly equilibrium block. Now, had I been more conservative, I would have front run this slightly, but I did actually mark the exact level, and we did hit that quite beautifully. So price rejecting on an intraday time frame from the bearish order block. So from the bearish control zone right here. That's actually the incorrect terminology. The bearish control zone would be down below 3,500. This is technically the bullish control zone at the upper level of the range, but since we have not broken higher time frame resistance, unfortunately, except for the descending trend line and the 55 exponential moving average. But the most important level of resistance is, of course, 40.96. Getting the daily to both open and close above that level would be beautiful, and then we would be looking for a rally. And we would take that as high as it would potentially take us. I think that most people, and we've talked about this, above 40.96, eyes are going to be, of course, on the immediate pullback to 61.50. Obviously, just the same way that we have a range here, we have a weekly equilibrium block where we've denoted the beginning of the trouble zone and the end of the trouble zone, in my opinion. We have the same thing up here, coming back to yearly resistance. Previous yearly resistance, which was the most significant floor, now forming the ceiling of price action in between 57.43 and 61.50. So our first trouble spot is going to be 46.24. Why? Because that is a weekly higher time frame level of resistance and support back in 2017. So I do think that on the bullish movement upwards, when that occurs, 46.24 is the logical area to reduce risk and reduce some of your exposure to your long side position. Similarly with 57.43. Coming up to the $6,000 range, this marks the trouble zone where you no longer look for long positions if you're not in the market yet. You look to take profits on your long positions, and you look to short the market at the first sign of a bearish reaction off of the ceiling, because this is the most significant level of resistance on the Bitcoin chart. And the technical correct setup is to short the hell out of it on the first pass through. That's just the correct setup. Now, should we break through and reclaim 61.50, then any doubts about the bear market being over are eradicated. I believe that we are then moving into significant price appreciation, because I believe the rally would be quite significant. But there are other reasons to short 61.50 on the first pass through. The reason why is because many individuals purchased what everybody was screaming was the bottom at 6,000, even though there were millions of technical reasons to enter to look at this and assume breakage to the downside, whether you want to do the descending triangle pattern, price contraction, supply overtaking demand, longs versus shorts ratios, whether you want to look at Heikin-Ashi trend, flipping bearish right here. Many reasons to be looking for your short positions at that point in time. All right, moving on. So let's talk about, we've talked about the bullish potential. I don't think we're there yet. There's no real reason to assume that that's on the table. We'll just play what's in front of us and what we have in our current time frame, which is between this range to be looking for opportunities to enter into shorts, or if you were being very aggressive and overly bullish and again, I think this is the wrong maneuver, to be greedy from the entrance. Again, we talked about this live on the air. Just the classical setup. I mean, here you have a clear, you have a very nice, strong bullish reaction on strong volume, a break out of consolidation, a complete shift in market structure. Instead of strongly rejecting from that area, we do consolidate in a bull flag. Although what I did to actively trade it, again, we did this all on the air, was I drew a pitchfork. And is it symmetrical? Is it perfect? No, but it did accurately reflect price. So we are barting up, we are barting down. And during this time period, I told everybody, I am not in a position on BTC. I have no interest to be in a position. This is suicide. There's opportunity. I mean, there's great opportunities to scalp to the upside or the downside. But if I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that on Ethereum, where the risk to reward is better. And honestly, the chart is cleaner. But at this point in time, we did have that significant break in market structure, opening and closing a 3-hour candle above the midline. And then right here, we did open and close a candle above the upper line, which indicates a shift in market structure where no longer are we looking to short rallies, but we're looking to buy pullbacks. So the correct movement was to stock up here, or if you're being very conservative, to enter here or here on the open and close above the 3-hour time frame. And that's also congruent here with a close above the horizontal resistance. So when you have a bull flag or a descending price pattern or a pennant or price contraction, whatever, the conservative movement is to plot a horizontal congruent to the high of your range high, of your swing high, of that descending pattern. And when you get an open and close above that, that's confirmation of a breakout, which you get either here if you're just looking for a close, or here if you're looking for the open and close. And then you have fairly rapid price appreciation, because that is a significant break in market structure, and you play it to the upside as you naturally should. 3-hour chart. Throwing up sell signals here and here, giving us opportunities to be out of our position. Again, as I said, multiple take profit levels hit, so 1 and 2 that I had charted out for you guys on the chart. Now, we're just prices stalling out, so no interest to be in a position except for 1 to the downside. Now, keep in mind that if you're looking to enter into a short now, which I do think is the statistical best setup, again, going to the 8-hour chart, we do have the sell signal here as well, and price is stalling out. Now, even if we break through this resistance at 39.30, an open and close a candle above here, I would still be looking to put on a short. So just be prepared, though, is what I'm trying to say. When you have a nice maneuver like this, be prepared to see either a swing failure pattern or a grab for liquidity to the upside to clear out shorts before a movement down, if that does happen, which I think is the most likely scenario in this case. So just be prepared. If you're looking to positionally swing trade this, you do have a 5% range where you're looking to put on short. So you can wait, you can be patient, you can look for confirmation and bearish rejection. What you could, I guess the more conservative approach would of course be to wait for an open and close below the resistance trend line, would be to wait for an open and close below something like 38.80 for a movement to the downside, because that is your local support that you're putting in here. The very conservative approach would be to wait until we're back in bearish control zone, which would be either below 3650 or below 3550, 3500. So clearly below 3500, in my opinion, you do have to be in a positional short. Going to the higher time frames, we do see, let's throw on auto here. We do see this horizontal level right here where price did have a nice bullish reaction from at 3,400. That I do not believe will support price. It's been bought up here once by the bulls. It's been bought up here. It's been bought up here and here. It's been bought up 4 times. That is a very weak price level at 3,400, 3,350. I would highly speculate with a great amount of confidence that if we do reject from this area and start blowing past through support and putting on very bearish, getting right back into bearish hands, as we've been doing all year long, actually for quite a while now, guys. then you definitely want to be in a positional short. And again, you're looking to increase your position on the breakage of 3,300 or 3,400, and then you are waiting for a bullish reaction off potentially 3,200. If that breaks, you add to your position. The next level that price might be supported is, if we go to the weekly time frame, we can see the liquidity zone. Down here around 29.39. Oh, sorry, let me scroll back a little bit. Around 29.39. Likely to be buyers in this area. If there's not buyers in that area enough to appreciate price, then we go lower towards my accumulation goal between 2,300 and 2,400, with my eyes on 23.31, which is the 88.6 Fibonacci retracement, just as well as a good midline of the volume profile as well. And then, of course, what to me represents the market bottom at 1924. But let's not talk about those. Some would call them apocalyptic levels until those levels are upon us. So, brief summary here, and we'll go through the time frames that are tradable in my humble opinion. 24-hour time frame. Does not look like a fantastic opportunity into a long. You are potentially looking for, right here, if we close this candle and begin moving down, we have put in a classic swing high. We have a high here, a lower high on either side. We could potentially see an SFP. This would technically classify as an SFP, but typically you do not get higher price appreciation from that. But it can happen. Again, expected results versus accurate results. So just remember all those Investopedia or whatever website that you're on or looking at when they're telling you, here is your introduction to chart patterns. If this happens, they just draw these beautiful, clean pennants, flags, cup and handles, which are whatever, cup and handles are garbage. Head and shoulders, inverted head, and just all this stuff that they're like. And then people take that stuff as information and they go to apply those chart patterns to the charts. And let me tell you guys, just from personal experience, chart patterns are not clean, are not beautiful. You have to approach the markets with your own nuance and understand the pattern is not important. What it's reflecting about price contraction and price action is. So always take your guidance about the market pursuant to price action and not upon fairly arbitrarily lines drawn on the chart. Okay. Going down to the 8-hour chart, which is my go-to for actionable trading. Now we will begin. I'm going to go to my indicator and I'm going to make sure that we are looking at the 8-hour resolution for trend. We still have a bullish Heikinashi trend after a brief dip down here into bearish Heikinashi trending. But looking at price action, this does not fill me with a lot of confidence. This is just getting sold into fairly significantly. Looks like a very classic distribution pattern, very good topping pattern. Now, same thing for here. We're just not able to get above 39.30 again on a 3-hour basis here, on any closing basis here. This does look like a very nice distribution method right here. Now, even again, as I said, even if price is able to get back above here, above 39.30, I will not be looking for longs, guys. I will not be looking for longs. This is a critical point in the market where patience and discipline really need to be applied, because a lot of individuals are going to get themselves wrecked. I made the reference yesterday. We had a lot of individuals in the chat, and everybody. Again, I'm not a guru. I don't have a crystal ball. Okay, I'm not going to be right 100% of the time. So please, anything that you hear on this channel, I'm not your attorney. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not your CPA. Make sure that if you are trading these markets, that you have your own analysis and that they're congruent with your lifestyle, your risk appetite, and all that wonderful jazz, guys. But even if price, I talked about yesterday. I talked about this. I referenced a lot of people are talking about like Russia buying Bitcoin or whatever, and I'm like, no, not buying. Like I'm not buying. I am no longer a buyer until we have a significant pullback and establish more consolidation, and I'm not a buyer until we open and close a daily above 40.96. Period. It's that simple. Not a freaking buyer. All right. The only thing I'm looking at now is opportunities to short until proven otherwise by the market. But so far, market's been pretty right so far. So you let the market guide you. You do not try to throw your opinion on the market. Very, very good environment for day trading. A lot of volatility in the market. Now we are entering into the slumpy period, between the hours of like noon and 6, where nothing really moves, and you just kind of sit here and watch the paint dry. And then you get some volatility between like 6 and 8. Typically right around candle close. That's my time, by the way. So make sure to port that over. And then again, often, around 11 to 2 o'clock, the market will move quite volatilely. So great, good, just amazing volatility here for intraday trading, guys. So if you are not looking for positional trades or swing trades, then XBT USD is your oyster, man. Just it's beautiful. All right, so hopefully that's clear. Let's move on over to Ethereum, which is where I've been doing my trading. Because again, I'm using Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but I am much more interested in trading Ethereum because it's more volatile. I talked about this yesterday. Much cleaner chart pattern here on the daily. Very nice symmetrical formation. Clear breakout. We took the long to the upside. Now we are in a short on Ethereum. We actually were in a short yesterday. I talked about this. Let's look here. My average entry was 147 and took profits at 141.70. As you can see here, again, for those of you, I should put up a map legend because the lines on my chart are always the same. And your green represents support, red represents resistance, pink represents stop losses, and blue represents take profits. So these will, when current trades go off, when I exit current trades, these lines will exit the chart. Now, came down. So entered at. So if we go to the 15-minute chart, let's see here. So average entry around 147, and we entered. This was the range that we entered at. This was the range that we entered at. Price moved against me a little bit. You can see I had my stop up at 151.05. Some people, obviously, whenever price is moving against your average entry, you tend to get nervous. But it is what it is. You don't. You just create your trade. And you stick to your guns. You stick to your guns. And if you get stopped out, remember that is the price that you pay for the ability to take profitable positions. Now, again, and this might be controversial to some of you, but for those of you who are unaware with my personal trading strategy, I don't use hard stops. I think that hard stops are a fantastic way to pay fees to an exchange. Now, sometimes that doesn't work out. Sometimes that gets you hit sometimes hard. But overall, the ability to actively manage, and the reason why I don't use hard stops is simply because they suck, because they will lose you money overall, especially if you have tight ranges. I think that whole, you must always trade with a hard stop. You must always protect your capital. Yes, you have to protect your capital through position sizing and trade discipline. There's more, like risk management is not where you put your goddamn stop loss. It's not the method in which you do your stop loss. Risk management is congruent to how you position your trades, the frequency of your trades, what your R percentage is, how you manage your capital, how much you trade, all of that wonderful stuff, guys. It's not in setting a hard stop, because in my experience, setting a hard stop is a fantastic way, especially on BitMEX, for the love of God, dude. There's not a single person out there who hasn't traded cryptocurrency and says that and loves hard stops. This is the refrain. They know where my stop loss is. They always hunt my stop loss. No, you're just entering in the wrong place in the market. But I do practice mental stop losses. So typically, depending on what time frame I'm trading, I will wait for a candle to close above or below my stop loss. So, and most traders that I know who are profitable practice the same method. So just keep that up with a grain of salt. Of course, you don't have to do what I do. You don't have to do as I say. You can. I'd be happier if you did your own thing. Anyways, took profit at 141.70. Added right here around 1:45 in the morning. Not 1:45 in the morning, but again, my alerts woke me up last night. So anybody who's been to my house, which would be none of you, except for Scott, I have doing this 24/7, man. I have alerts, and sometimes they wake me up because I want to know when stuff's happening, because often the market moves. It's 24/7. Often I'm sleeping. So I was sleeping last night, saw a price pulling up against me, stayed up for about 30 minutes and watched, got the nice resell signal. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. Already took profits here. I'm going to go ahead and add to my position. I'm feeling pretty comfortable about that right now. Came back up, messed around with my average entry. That's totally fine. So let's go back out. That's enough about me. Going back out to the 24-hour time frame, we have the exact same scenario here with with Bitcoin. I'm no longer a buyer in this market environment. Now, here's the thing though, with Ethereum, we do have a higher price target here at 156.50. So just as on the way up, again, these lines have changed. So when we were talking about the breakout, these green lines were cyan lines, as was the red line. So these were all potential take profit targets on the way up. Now that those have been actualized, their roles have changed to support and resistance. So now we have current range support coming in at 137.55. We have resistance overhead at 147, i.e. my average entry into price. Now, I would say that should we close a convincing candle above 147, we do have the potential to go up to 156.50. Looking at this chart and not taking any other data metrics into account. But we have to take Bitcoin's price action into account because Ethereum will move right alongside with Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin has a much more fleshed out price action, just much cleaner. Ethereum's been much more bullish, much more bearish, honestly, vacillating more wildly and leading the market, I think, and being much more profitable to trade, honestly, in my humble opinion. I still do believe that we have had a significant change in market structure. We'll see what kind of reactions we begin getting off supports. If we're convincingly opening and closing candles below support, I add more to my short position. I pyramid into a successful position, and I wait for signs that the market is reversing to tell me to take the trade to the upside. Should the trade move against me, it becomes a loss. That it is what it is, and I look to re-enter closer to 162.45 and 156.50. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to be, I don't want to vacillate or be a wiffle waffle. That's a custom term. Don't let me catch any of you using it. But looking at the Bitcoin chart, it seems pretty clear to me that I do not want to be a buyer on Bitcoin. We're too close to significant resistance. Go to the 8-hour chart and we can see that. So there's only about 4% there. It's the margin is not it's no bueno, man. But looking over at Ethereum, should price rally from here and attempt to make a higher high, I'm not going to take it off the table that I would not look for a play to the upside on Ethereum. I think the range is too tight on Bitcoin, but seeing as we do have 8% to the upside and I could manage my risk below support at something like 4 to 5%, I might be willing to take that bet. It's going to depend on what price action looks like at that point in time. Right now, I don't see any indications to take that trade. So I'm going to so let's just start with the weekly here on Ethereum. Again, same scenario. Does not interesting me in being a buyer at current price action right now. Going down to the daily. Same thing that we're seeing on Bitcoin, price stalling out at a local high. Looks like, and again, we're putting in that nice classic lower high, higher high, lower high pattern, classic swing high pattern, prevalent to which foreshadows a reversal. Going to the 8-hour chart, time transformer throwing up a sell signal. Not a whole lot more information there on the 8-hour chart. And again, but you can just see right here, just getting sold into very hard, guys. Just getting sold into very hard. 3-hour chart right here, we posted up multiple sell signals right here at the local top. Put in bearish divergence right here. So we have a right here, we have a local high, and then we have a higher high and a lower high on the oscillator. So nice bearish divergence right there at the absolute top of the market, actually, if you can see right on the candle that represents the local close high. Time transformer accurately prints out your bearish divergence. Strong indication to be out of the market. So we'll see here. Looking at the time transformer, we have bottomed. We have had a bullish cross up. We're still below the neutral zone right now. So what I would expect in analysis is that we do end up rejecting in the vicinity and going back into bearish control zone, as we're kind of seeing right now. Going down to the lower time frames on Ethereum. Right before the show, I was watching this and I was kind of interested. So for those of you who are new to the channel, guys in the group, obviously, who are watching are familiar with how I do things. But again, I begin my analysis for every chart. I approach the chart on a weekly time frame or the highest time frame possible. I identify key levels of horizontal support and resistance. I use generally one tool and one tool only to assist me with that, and that's the volume profile visible range to help me adjust those levels so that they're congruent with where liquidity is. I'll go down to the daily chart to refine those levels a little bit more fully, and then I will begin plotting out Should I be in a position this way or that way? What are take profits? What are potential stop losses? What would become range supports? And then I utilize the 8-hour and the 3-hour chart with price action to tell me what positions to take when. And then I'll often monitor charts on the 15-minute chart, 15-minute or 30-minute chart. It's all the same to me. And on the 15-minute chart, on the 3-hour and the 8-hour, I'll draw trend lines. And when I'm looking for day trading or opportunities, I do like to draw trend lines and minor horizontals on the 15-minute chart as well. So this is something that I was watching because we did have this nice on the 15-minute chart here. We do see this nice price contraction, which this is what everybody was talking about. They're like bullish pennant. No, that's price contraction at the top of a range, symmetrical, could break to the upside, could break to the downside. Broke to the downside, and I was very happy to see this. Again, I was aggressive, I was aggressive. I was aggressive in my short entry, but price did break to the downside, pulled back up. We did have this descending trend line right here. And as I woke up last night to basically monitor price, was right around here, and I was like, I'm going to add to the short, which I did. And then price came up here. This, I'm not going to lie, this did worry me a little bit because price comes back up to my average entry. But, you're just patient. You're waiting. I already have my stop loss placed. I'm in the trade. I don't change my opinion. Or let's put it this way. You just have to stick to your guns. Price rejected, pulled back down, broke down below, rejected below that trend line, came back up, and I'm like, shoot. And now breaking down below. So a little bit of ranging activity would not surprise me at this point in time. But we'll just be patient and wait. So of course, more downside targets, 141.70. I'll look to retake profit there again. 138.60. Should we achieve that level, and then I'll just wait and monitor what price does. 137.55 representing our first level of support. Would not surprise me to see some bullish reaction off of that level, retest of resistance here. Looking for the SR flip. But again, when you're trading SR flips, which is a support resistance flip where something was resistance and you would expect it to act as support on the way down, you do need to see bullish confirmation of that. And this is, I guess, this is a very simple point, guys. When you're looking for trading opportunities, especially around horizontals, which I think are the most critical area on the chart, you want to see reaction off a level. One of the common mistakes that I'll see traders make is they'll look at a chart like this, for example, and they're like, okay, all right, I just took Phil A. Cohn's Udemy course. I know what's going on. We've got support here. We had resistance here, and we had resistance here. So guess what? On the way back down, those are supports now. So I'm going to set a buy here, and I'm going to set a buy here, and I'm going to set a buy here. Let's fucking do this. No, I don't think that's the right thing to do. What you want to do is right-click on this line and click Add Alert on Horizontal Line. For those of you unfamiliar, you can just do that. And then when price comes down into this vicinity, in fact, you might even want to set it a little bit higher just in case the level gets front run, as they often do. But as price comes down into this vicinity, go down to a lower time frame. Are you getting a bullish reaction off of it? If so, then you can enter with good risk management. So, wait for a nice swing low to form. Maybe price goes up, maybe forms a higher low, and then you can take the trade. Wait for confirmation off of the level that you're interested into. Don't just blindly buy into anything. Don't just blindly sell. That's the biggest mistake that you're going to make with horizontals, with diagonals, with any indicator. Doesn't matter what it is. Could be Ichimoku, could be exponential moving averages, could be simple moving average. I don't care what it is. You don't blindly buy levels. That's gambling. You need to have confirmation from price action that the level is doing what you expect it to do. So if price comes down to 137.55, I might become an interested buyer. It depends on what price does. Will I ever just throw a limit order at 137.55? Hell no. Hell no. No. I do tend to enter a lot of my trades via market. Sometimes I get slippage, but I definitely do not blindly buy. Depending on what the environment is, you can often get in with a limit order. You just have to set it slightly above the order books. Just target an area of liquidity. So that's okay. So that's a good example, I guess. So for example, like right here, right? Let's say that you were looking at this level. So this blue line, which I had as a take profit level, you could use it. You could rationally use it as a support level. As you can see, there's support here and support here. So you're expecting this to act as support on the way down. So here on the 15-minute time frame, for example, price comes down to support. For example, breaks through it initially, rallies, forms a higher low. At this point, making a buy is not a bad idea. You can market enter right around here if you want. But you could set a limit order around liquidity. You could set a limit order around liquidity because often what you'll see is if price is going to go to the upside, it's going to do a stop loss hunt, which is exactly what we see here. Stop loss hunt, aka swing failure pattern. Where you put in a low, individuals assume this is the low, and what does price do? It moves down, hunt stop losses, which are going to be logically placed here, and then price moves to the upside. That's why I always recommend, here's a good rule. If you're losing a lot of trades, if your stop's getting hunted a lot, the next time that you do a chart analysis, and the next time that you're like, all right, cool, I've got my entry and my exit and my stop loss, I'm going to set limit orders. Stop. Move your entry to where your stop loss is, and then move your stop loss up that same level, and then keep your targets the same. Tool for success, guys. That's like I got that when I was a beginner trader. My mentor taught me that, and honestly, until I learned where to rationally set my entries and to wait for price action to confirm movements, that was the that helped out. That helped out a lot. That helped out a lot. Okay. All right, I do want to say hello to the chat, man. We got a lot of people in the chat I want to say hello to. Gotta watch crypto. Hey, what's going on, Mr. Ether? Good to see you, my friend. A moneymaker. Michael says, I am ready to short this rally down on 10x leverage. Let's do it, man. Caribbean Crypto Show. What's going on, my dude? Ianut. Valentine. Hey, what's going on, dude? Dale Shane. Joseph. Freeman's Cryptoverse. Good to see you. HHK Lassie. Good to see you. I haven't seen you before. Wendy. Alex. Who else do we got here? Kamalesh Patel, Sir Newton, Chip Rockefeller, Mark D. Oh, man, we got the troll in here again. Vincent Yag, Karananda, Sir Newton. Freeman's Cryptoverse, man. I've seen you in here quite a bit. Guess what? You are now wrenched. And of course, I apologize that I didn't do this earlier, man. Gotta watch crypto, man. Mr. Ether. You are wrenched, my good dude. Welcome to the team. Martial Arts Dad says, thoughts on whether or not Litecoin holds the 200 exponential moving average at the end of day or moves lower? Let's go take a look at the good old Litecoin. Tether pair is having a very nice rally last night. I just want to put that in. Tether pair is having a very nice rally last night. All right. I suppose we're going to look at the daily. So just looking at LTC USDT, again, I assume you're probably looking at LTC BTC, which I guess we can. But LTC USDT, you do have that 200 exponential moving average coming up above you. Again, looking at what we got going on here, guys. Here's my analysis of LTC USDT. Let's take the EMAs off, guys, because those are better for trending. And let's look at the weekly. Okay, so I do want to refine this just a little bit. Sorry, I just thought of something very funny. Okay. Make the right play on LTC, because I'm kind of watching this closely from my own position as well. So I would want to coach how I'm looking at LTC with what's going on with Ethereum and Bitcoin, because if they end up moving down, I would expect the alts to move with them. So my initial level of resistance here, and it's dotted because that represents tentative. So you can see that we did break the tentative resistance right there. Moving to the upside, I guess now at this point in time, we've already hit my first take profit level at $49. Moving into this new range, moving into the range of the previous breakdown zone. I guess if I'm going to be absolutely logically consistent, this level technically does... This is kind of a tricky one, man. This is kind of a tricky one. For where do you want to set where your resistance is? And to be completely logically consistent, the best level that I see as strong resistance on the weekly time frame on the chart has to be this level right here. Now, I'll go down to the daily and refine this a little bit further. But as you can see, this level represents support, it represents resistance, and it represents the beginning of the breakdown zone and bearish rejection here. Looking at the volume profile on the left, which is the discriminator that I use, we do see that that is the beginning of the high volume node. So breaking into that puts us back below the low volume node and back into price appreciation. The only thing that I guess I could say is that overall we are coming into that vicinity from the high of the local week, about 4% to the upside, and we can see the low volume node. The price moved through very rapidly. Again, low volume nodes, areas where there is not high volume nodes, so areas where there's nothing on the volume profile, are train tracks, as I've talked about. So we can see that price breaks above this high volume node, consolidates briefly, pulls for liquidity to the downside, and then just rockets through and comes up here to test the vicinity of our higher high volume node. Taking that into account, I would want to be cautious. Now, getting above 54.64, and I'll go down to the daily to refine that level just a little bit, but getting above 54.64, in fact, I can see how I can refine that level well. So we'll do array. Perfectly. 54.79. So that's probably the strongest level of resistance on the chart. That would be, so you can see there's other reasonings for that as well. So the break of that level on the weekly basis really begins your strong, more recent plummet, which forms your range low. Or excuse me, the market bottom at the current point in time. So getting above 54.79, we do have upside targets in this whole range. There's just no other way to look to take profits because then we don't have resistance until $72.15. So if we can get the daily to open and close above 54.79, I'm a buyer, and we can look to take profit at 56.88, 61.86, 65.67, and 69.45. Now we've already hit from the test of support here, already hit both my upside targets here at 45.29 and $49. So we did have local resistance here on the daily time frame. So now let's go down to the daily. Go down to the daily. Daily having a nice rally, getting sold into, as is the rest of the market. And with that new level in mind that we formed on the weekly time frame, I don't want to be a buyer of Litecoin at this point in time. We had a really good run with Litecoin, man. Long on LTCH19 for quite a long time. I don't want to be a buyer of Litecoin anymore at this point in time. I want to see how price reacts to 54.79. Now, taking that into account, let's look at the EMAs. Do we have confluence? Yes, we have our 200 exponential moving average coming in right around that area. Now, we do have nice crosses. We do have the 21 crossing above the 100 exponential. Not yet the confirmed cross, not the confirmed golden cross of the 55 and the 100. We'll wait and see. If we do end up moving higher, which Litecoin does look quite nice at this point in time, I would expect to get initial resistance, of course, from resistance in the 200 exponential moving average on the first pass through. I would like to see consolidation, or either that, or a very convincing close, pullback, and reclamation of 54.79. Again, breaking of 54.79, I would become a buyer, and again, I would be looking to take profits here to the upside. But right now, the downside potential seems too great. Let's go down to the 8-hour chart. Eight-hour time frame. Let's see here. Like how we caught the market bottom right here. You've got multiple opportunities to scale out of your position at many different levels. 8-hour does give you a buy right here, I'm sorry, and then tells you to scale out here. The bullish Heikin-Ashi trend goes bullish here. That would have been our only buy signal, except for lower time frame breakout right here. But I digress. Sell signal right here. Yeah, and then just nice volatile spike up above resistance, but getting sold into initially. Getting sold into initially on the 8-hour chart. So we'll see what happens. I definitely wouldn't want to be a liar of excuse me. I would not like to be a buyer of Litecoin at this point in time. The whole market, to me, in this opinion, everything is coming into that range where if you're in profitable positions, great. We've been on a nice tear, guys. Potentially look to take profits. Don't be fucking greedy. You can always re-enter on breaks of resistance. But yeah, the risk to reward to me is not great here because you're looking at, for me anyways, I'm looking at a potential price target of 8% to the upside, and I would have to manage risk at 9% to the downside. There's no other way to look at this. Going to the 3-hour chart, what do we see here? Yeah, so if we do top here, then this is going to be 3-hour bearish divergence as well. We have a high and a lower high on the oscillator potentially. This hasn't fully turned yet for confirmation, but we have a higher high in price action. Unnatural volume. Typically, when you see abnormal volume and a wick to the upside, it's typically a sign of a market top and at least a slow pullback. But we'll see. Going down to the 15-minute chart, could you day trade this? Of course you could. So to answer your question, Peter, this is basically what I do when I'm looking for day trades or when I'm looking for entries and exits. All right, man. If you're looking for a scalp or if you're looking for potentially a good entry into a positional short, this is how you're doing it, man. Whichever level breaks first, man. And you can wait for confirmation again of your... So this becomes a dotted yellow because it's a line of reaction, meaning if this line gets broken, then we might do something. Typically the way that I would interpret this is if we break the lower trend line, which price seems to be forming a descending triangle at this point in time, which is generally a bearish pattern, but can also be a continuation pattern at the top of an uptrend. So if the trend line gets broken to the upside, you could potentially look to enter into a trade. If we close above $52 on the 15-minute time frame, you could aggressively look for upside targets at 53, 54.41, and 55.80. That's the conservative. Aggressive is 54.20, 56.20, and 58.20. These are equilibrium swings, so simply doing extensions of 1, 2, and 3 on the fib. Picked up that method from ICT. So shout out to Intercontinental Trader. And that's just one way. That's a quick go-to. Also picked that up from Mal. He was the one that kind of got me looking at that, and then I did some research and found that ICT had actually fully documented that. So that's one easy way to look for take profits. You can do other metrics as well. Like for example, you can just do like 1%, 3%, 5%, whatever. It's you have to determine that's congruent upon your day trading strategy. Intraday trading is very very finicky, very specific to anybody. I'd be more inclined to take the breakdown to the downside though. We'll see though, man. So I assumed though that you're talking about LTC BTC. So basically just take everything I said there and let's go look at LTC BTC, where I believe I do have a little bit of a fuller chart. Yeah, so LTC BTC, let's go to the weekly. And where are we at? Resistance. We are at resistance on the weekly time frame. So, yeah, not an area where I want to be a buyer. More like an area where I would like to be a shorter. And then should we get above resistance, then potentially I get interested. But I will not be doing the Bitcoin pairing. No. I would be doing USDT. 200 exponential moving average, well below us on the daily chart, man. Looking at the weekly, don't have a 200 exponential moving average, so I'm not sure what you're referring to, bro. Yeah, this does look like a potential SFP. So we have a range high and we form a slightly higher high to grab liquidity. If we close below 12,742 on the daily, I would be very confident that this down. 8-hour time frame on LTC BTC. Basically confirming what we've already said. '21 exponential moving average has been doing yeoman's work here on the 8-hour chart, as it often does. Now, if you're looking to trade the trend, guys, if you're looking to trade the trend, typically you would wait until the daily Heikin-Ashi turns bearish, or until for me, if price closes below the 21 exponential moving average, or the 21 closes underneath the 55, crosses underneath the 55. That's a good way to sustain yourself in the trend. This might be a good opportunity to show you. Where is it? Show you my new indicator that I'm working on. Nothing serious. After a big task like time transformation, man, I just kind of needed to. It's not simple. Don't get me wrong. It's pretty cool. But it also wasn't that complex for me to make. Something like time transformation, where I was coding divergence, a natural volume, crossovers and cross-unders, trend changing, transverting Heikin-Ashi to regular price action, multi-time frame features. That was a it was a pain, man. It was a pain. So I just wanted to take some of the skills that I learned from doing that and create. Where the heck is it, man? I wrote this last night. Maybe it doesn't want to show up. Aww. Oh, does it have that? Hold on a sec. Maybe I think I called it this. No, I can't find it. It be gone. Oh, that sucks, man. Hey, you guys think you've been busy? This is everything that I've written. All right. So, anyways, what I had written last night. Frustrating that I can't find it. Maybe it's over here. Maybe if I. Yeah, I find. God damn it! I can't find it. That sucks, man. Oh well. Anyways, it's not on there either. So, anyways, I guess it. Sometimes that happens, That's why I'll have to port the Visual Studio Code in later. Always back up your code, guys. But anyways, I wrote a new indicator last night, and basically what it does is it looks at the average of price for open, high, low, close over the last 14 bars. So it basically takes an average of Heikin-Ashi price, determines if overall price is bullish or bearish. So it's basically applying Heikin-Ashi strategy to something like average true range. So is the average true range of Heikin-Ashi positive? If it returns true, then trend will be bullish. If it returns false, then price will be bearish. And then I transform that into moving averages that accurately reflect price. And I've written this is my exponential moving average script. But so that I can just look at just about anything that I want to right here. But the moving averages that I wrote last night are pretty nice, man. They seem much more responsive to price. So I'm going to play around with that a little bit more after I figure out why TradingView is out to get me, and maybe I'll probably release that to the subscribers here pretty soon. What's going on? Okay. Getting back to the chat. Sir Newton says, I'm not a trader. I am a wealthy squirrel looking to fill my treehouse, man. Cheapest nuts. RJ Jamal. Is a cup handle forming on Ethereum? Well, that's something that you'll never see in Goldman Sachs. Morgan Stanley, desk traders going to the floor, and they're like, boss, there's a cup and handle. Let's see here. So typically when you see a cup and handle, I'm going to buy the 382. So typically when you see a cup and handle pattern forming, and yes, it does look like what you would see out of Investopedia, you typically buy the 382 Fibonacci retracement, and you set your stop loss below the 618. Or excuse me, you buy in between the typically you buy between the 236 and the 382, and your stop loss goes, yes, below your 618 Fibonacci retracement, or your 0.5, depends on your level of aggression. So using the good old Investopedia measured movements, that would give us and then typically you conservatively, you measure from the handle, from the low of the handle. Aggressively, you measure from the from the high. So let's clone that. Where did we say our range high was? Like right here. Seems about right to me. Let's move it down just a little bit. Doesn't really matter because this is just speculation. So that would bring us up here to where my initial stop loss was at 151.05, and that would bring us close to my upside target of 156.50. So let's see what happens. I don't think that cup and handle patterns are very good to trade, but as I said, I'm going to be watching the markets, guys, and if I get the tinkling that price might make another good run up here, then I have no problem with. I've already taken profit on my short, already added to it. Should price convincingly close above 147, I'll probably reduce my risk. And wait for confirmation of further movement down. I might even throw in a long. I don't know. This is kind of one of those areas where, being honest as a trader, I'm going to look for the opportunity, man. But right now, I want to be very, very cautious about taking trades to the upside, man. Very cautious, dude. Everything about this screams distribution to me. Again, even if we make another leg higher, just the opportunity cost might not be in there for a long position. But we'll see. Depends on price action. All right. Oh, sorry, man. I missed your... Man, I'm sorry. I'm way behind in the chat, dude. Borzik82, thank you so much for the $5 donation, man. I apologize that I missed you. I was lost in the sauce, man. Yeah, man. Let's check out Theta, dude. Let's check out Theta, man. Yep, I saw it, man. I apologize. Gotten lost in the sauce. I'd be glad to look at Theta for you, man. Let me just I want to take a brief break. Not a brief break, but I just want to thank all the new subscribers, guys. Thank you to Peter Wilson, Kirk, the superheart.org Foundation. I've seen you in here before. Cheap Vlog, Daz Hiberian, Chris Roseland, Young Song, Timur Atansov. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I sometimes suck at this. Rahul, Jai. There's no way I can pronounce that right. Yaya Molly, hopefully that's right. Dale Shane, Amit Patel, Eternal, Jeff Poor, Crypto Sauce. Guys, thank you so much for the subscriptions on YouTube, guys. Very pleased to have you guys in the community, and looking forward to hearing your inputs. All right, Theta BTC, I assume you're talking about, or no, that's right. Not yet. Theta does not have Theta does not yet have a... All right, so let's look at Theta, one of the other great FOMOs of our time. All right, man. Let's see here. Let's see if we can't. First thing I want to make this smaller. Try this. Bueno? Bueno? More bueno? More bueno. More bueno. Less bueno? More bueno. All right. So, just adjusting transformer to the price action. All right, so, oh man, I remember this, guys. I remember the great FOMO of our time, guys, and pretty much I remember this. I remember it popping off. We took a Theta scalp. We made about 40% off of it back when this happened, and then you know what's funny is like you know what, guys, it's just, listen, when it goes all the way up and then it just comes crashing all the way back down, it's generally not very good. This was good though. This is more nice sustained movement to the upside. Let's see here. So this, let's just be logically consistent about this. First thing I want to do, I haven't really played around with this too much. Yeah, that's critical level on the chart. Absolutely. Go ahead and tack it from there. Seems very good. So this is now support. Tertiary. And you don't really have any significant resistance except for right here on a daily basis. You haven't been able to close a daily above this in a long time. So that's going to represent local resistance. Breaking that, man. Look to take profits in these areas. This is, I'm gonna paint the bullish scenario first, man. Then I'm gonna paint the realistic scenario. To take profit at previous swing highs on a bullish rally. Look, this is probably going to act as significant. Breaking that, you profit here. Seems good to me. Okay, other areas to take profit. The upside here. Yeah, that seems like a good variance range. All right, coming down here, man. Might some tentative support. That would be a liquidity grab, but maybe it's dashed because it's speculative. Important there. Okay, so now we've got a roadmap on a higher time frame of what to do when. Okay, so this seems pretty simple, man. From the daily perspective, depending on how you want to trade this, the daily time transformer is telling you to sell here. Daily time transformer is telling you to sell here. You have a little bit of bearish divergence. The daily coming back down to the neutral zone right here. Not confirmed crossover on the daily, but getting a nice bullish reaction from it. But still forming a lower high. So this is, we formed a classic SFP right here. Again, swing failure pattern or grab for liquidity, whatever you want to call it. Excuse me. Is where you have a range high. You get indications to sell, but guess what? People are greedy and they buy this candlestick. You trap buyers to the upside, and they get dumped on. So this does not look incredibly bullish, just my personal opinion. You had multiple indications to buy down here. You have a confirmed breakout right here. Do we have unnatural volume on the breakout? Yes, we do. So as you can see here, unnatural volume on the time transformer indicator, unnatural volume on a breakout candle that closes very convincingly, and then the pullback. So you can enter here. You can also look to double, or you can. This is aggressive because you don't know if price is just going to run away from you. Or you look to conservatively buy the pullback. Pulls back to resistance or previous resistance, performs an SR flip quite beautifully, and then it's off to the races. So just multiple areas to get in here. Time transformation actually gave you a buy right here. And then we've got multiple levels of bullish divergence right here. In fact, here's right before if you missed this rally, right when we have the SR flip, we get hidden bullish divergence. Right? Hidden bullish divergence where price puts in a higher low, but the oscillator puts in a lower low, indicating that although price did not pull back as far as the previous swing low, the oscillator became more oversold. It's a sign of strength. It's a fundamental sign of strength. So when you break out of consolidation on good volume and you have a very nice candle body, not just a wick to the upside, that is generally a sign of strength that price will continue in the direction in which you broke out. Same if you break to the downside. If it's a very strong, convincing candle body close, then most likely price will continue on in that direction. When you see something like this, so with a big wick, a huge wick, I mean, this is an extreme example, but here's a good example here as well, although we don't have a natural volume on this candle, but when you see a big wick like this, generally, especially if you see unnatural volume as well, or lots and lots and lots of volume above the moving average, price will often move in the opposite direction. So this does look like this looks like a retest of resistance. It's kind of difficult to tell what to do until the daily closes. But to be quite honest with you, man, and again, I don't want to lead you astray. You are responsible about making your own trading decisions. But just looking at the chart, depending on, and again, I have no idea where you entered, where you exited. That's not my place to advise you. I'll just tell you what I would do. Ideally, I would have been in the trade from the lows or the breakouts. If I'm looking at this area right here, I'm respecting what my indicator is telling me, and I'm looking to sell at this very profitable range. I mean, for the love of God, I mean, from the last buy, well, you definitely would have sold there, but let's just assume that we re-entered somewhere around here. If you entered into consolidation, which is generally not the smartest thing to do, but if you entered on the breakout, I mean, for the love of God, you're up 70%. How greedy do you want to be, man? This is not a get-rich-quick scheme, dude. I would take profit and then I would wait, man. I would wait. If you, or at the very least, again, one of the biggest mistakes of traders is that they get out of trades too early. So, there's a couple metrics that we can use, man. Let's look at the daily Ichimoku. Daily Ichimoku, I would say, if price closes back inside the cloud or underneath, again, daily Ichimoku would tell you below the Kijun. So we'd go to the 8-hour chart actually for this. In fact, before we look at anything like Ichimoku or exponential moving averages, let's look at the lower time frames and see what we can't wheedle out, man. Okay, so trend line. Get out of here. Yeah, I'd basically wait and see how this plays out, man. Nice ranging action in here. I think that if you were to look to take profits here, you would be close to your range high. I'd be quite pleased with that. And then you just look to re-enter if price opens and closes above 26.60. Then you've got upside targets at 28.19, 30.50, and 31.30. Same thing, you're looking to be out before resistance. You close above 33.06. You got upside targets there, and there. That's close to your market high, though. If price is below 22.35, you're extremely bearish because you're going to be breaking out of this consolidation zone. But overall, you can see volume profile on the 8-hour chart. Price is just ranging. It just put in a lower high. Let's kind of see how this plays out. So far, we have a speculative tentative trend line. So if you wanted to be like really aggressive, you're just waiting. If this were me, man, I would be out of the market, and I would have I'd be out of the market. I look at a chart like this and I'm like, well, Jesus Christ, wherever I got in, man, this looks pretty damn good to me. You can always rebuy and take the upside targets, man. But yeah, nice run like that, man. It's good, especially with Bitcoin and XBT doing its thing. If Bitcoin dumps, Bitcoin pairings dump. 3-hour chart. kind of the same thing. Got the sell right at the top on the time transformation. I'm putting in a whole lot of unnatural volume right here. But that's not breakout volume. Breakout volume. If we got some nice unnatural volume above 2660, then I'd be pretty confident about a rally. But just as it stands right now, man, it doesn't look good. Again, if you're up like quite a bit, then it's probably not going to hurt you to take. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're talking about maybe 10% to the downside. So conservatively, maybe take 30 or 40% of profit off the table. That's what I would do, if not the whole goddamn position. And then if price opens and closes, or just closes below 2235, then you got confirmation that the trend is broken. Another thing that you can obviously use is, as I said, you can use Ichimoku. So your key, you can look. The 8-hour Ichimoku would actually have you in the trade until 1922, until price closes down below. Again, typically though, if you took the cloud breakout, you would be out of the trade when price closes below the Kijun. So the Kijun is coming in a little bit below 2235 at 2090. So let's see what the EMAs would tell you to do. The EMAs would tell you to be out of the trade pretty much at the same level. Yeah, pretty much closing below 2235, man. You know, you've got your Kijun coming in there. You've got your 55 exponential moving average. Things look good right now, man. But getting out at a good price is always important. And I would say, depending on where you entered, getting out at anywhere from 60 to 100% profit, probably a good deal, man. All right. Unnatural volume is volume that is higher than the average. So let's take a look here at the chart. All right. So as you can see, we've got average volume right here. And then what do we see? Hey, that looks weird. Hey, that looks weird. Hey, that looks weird. That's something different. Whoa, that's really different. That's something different. Unnatural volume. Remember, without a significant shift in volume or sentiment, nothing's likely to happen in the market. The market is just going to continue in whichever direction. It's just shuffle stepping, slow walking its way towards. And it's not until you have significant changes in volume that either breakdowns, breakouts, or reversals occur. So you're always looking for volume to confirm your movement. So, and, you know, again, anybody that says volume doesn't matter is not me. Volume matters a lot. Price action, horizontals, volume. And I've put that all here. That's a scam. Oh, sorry, guys. All right. Did I miss anything else? Never even heard of it, JF Airplane. Never even heard of it, my dude. All right, let me hit the chat up, man. Yeah, we'll talk about BTT. Jeffers. I would love to talk about BTT. I would love to talk about BTT. Yeah, this looks quite nice, man. Price action has to confirm it, but yeah, I'm watching this baby. I am watching this baby. We come down here. If I get an 8-hour buy signal, I got, you know, hidden bullish divergence here. Got the buy signal here. Let's go to the 3-hour chart. Oh, shoot. You know what? I need to. That's why. I need to readjust this. Back up to 7. There we go. Tell you what, man. Time transformation doing yeoman's work for me here, dude. Hidden bullish divergence here. Clear indication of a buy signal there, as well as hidden bullish divergence. Sell signal right at the market top, man. I got the alerts, man. If I get a buy signal or hidden bullish divergence, I'm off to the races, man. Gone. Now, I was watching this just this morning because I got the 3-hour buy signal, right? So I came down to the 15-minute time frame, and my alerts didn't go off, so good. So I went down to the 15-minute time frame, plotted out the trend, and we broke to the downside. So these are going to have to come off. I'll leave them on there for now, but you can see that I was like, oh, are we gonna do it? Are we gonna break? Are we going? Hut. But probably take profit targets on the chart, man, because if for that trade, if we broke there, I definitely would want to be out. So yeah, we open and close a 3 or an 8 hour candle above the trend line. Oh, man. If we get an oversold buy signal down here or hidden bullish divergence, off, dude, off. Yeah, BTT looks quite nice. Yeah, man, time transformation, just doing absolute yeoman's work, dude. Bye. Take profit, take profit, take profit. Bye. Take profit. Buy. No take profit here, but you know, you've got the trend line, so you can use your own analysis. Buy. That's the first time you've done me dirty. We'll see. Maybe it knows something that I don't. Real just for funsies. Let's see what our other indicators are telling us to do. Not enough data on the 8 hour itchy. 3 hour itchy. Just got a 3 hour bullish TK cross. Price kind of dancing inside the cloud. I'd want to see, you know, I'd like to see the bounce off the cloud or price back above the key June, ideally. Our EMAs come down to the 55. Let's see what happens. 8 hour time frame as well. Price coming down to the 21 exponential moving average in the 8 hour time frame. So we'll see what happens here, baby. I never, you know, I love that song. Like I sing it a lot to myself when I'm trading, but I can never. I don't know what they say, man. Rockin' cash bar. I saw it like whenever I sing it, I'm always like rocking. Then I say, you know, then I'm like rocking the cash bar very confidently because I know they say rocking the cash bar. Very confident upon that. Smart Crypto Bot, what's going on, man? Hey, thanks, Jurgen. I highly appreciate it, man. I know you're not here, but good looking out, man. CST, Ryan Atkinson. Let's see. 50-50 area is critical for Litecoin, is it not? I know you're probably gone by now, but let me look at your... $50.50. Yeah, I mean, okay, so I see where you're coming from. You're using basically this level of support, which I actually have as a take profit. And maybe you're more accurately correct, but the reason that and again I just did this, so the reason that I have the line where it is because of the weekly. So I threw volume profile on there to discriminate slightly, and it just seems to me that using 54.79 or 55 is just a better level, just a more significant horizontal level on the chart that I'd like to see broken. So we'll see, man. This, you know, the chart and my gut kind of tells me to sell into this, but you know, again, we could have another 4 or 5% to the upside here. But this does not look overly bullish. We'll see, man. It could, man. It could. It could K7 Jixer. Hey, what's going on? Sammy Value Muthu. Yeah, I think it's I wouldn't be a buyer of LTC right now, but that's just me. Can you please explain this break in the downtrend? Is there a chance it's a bear trap? Of course it is, man. There's always a chance it's a bear trap. We don't know exactly what the markets are going to do. We'll know it's a bear trap if price goes kaboom, you know. Which again, looking at Ethereum, I will not. Looking at Bitcoin, I mean, it seems pretty clear. Looking at Bitcoin seems pretty clear to me that we're close to getting topped out, and taking a trade to the upside is not in my interest. Let's delete that. But yeah, you know, when I see stuff like this, man, when I see just wick, I'm I'm going to hold on to my short position until proven otherwise by the market for the time being. For the time being, you know, it's already done me well once. We'll see, man. We'll see. I'm fairly with Ethereum. I'd be fairly comfortable flipping. Even if I have to flip again, you know, even if we get faked out to the upside. If we go to the upside, I'll be using a trailing stop. I'll be using a trailing stop on some in profit essentially. So, not overly concerned with how I will actively manage my Ethereum trade, but we'll see, man. Yeah, we'll know it's a bull trap if price moves upwards. Otherwise, but you know, looking at, so let's be real about this. What's more likely to occur is a little bit of range action or consolidation. And then we can kind of base our decision off of that. But right now, just looking, especially using Bitcoin as a leading indicator, seeing how topped out Bitcoin is right now, and the fact that I am not interested in becoming a Bitcoin buyer right now. I have to assume that the play is to utilize this area for going down here to retest support. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Everything could just continue on its massive upside, crazy, fuck the world rally, and we'll see, man. And if that happens, we'll buy breakouts. It's cool to me, man. But you know, look how much, you know, beautiful price appreciation we've had, man. Here's what I don't understand. You know, you gotta have the discipline and the strategy to enter when you should enter and understand what are potential take profit levels for what are potential take profit levels. Like, can we rally like another 3, 4, 10, 1 million%? Of course we could, dude. We could run up like 50%. But it becomes a measure of risk reward, dude. Like at some point as a trader, you have to take profit and then you have to reposition yourself in the market. Redbeard says, hey, what's your opinion? When would be the best opportunity to enter into a short on Bitcoin? Bitcoin moved up a bit. Do you still see it as bearish? It depends on if you're a gambler, if you're an aggressive trader, or if you're conservative. If you're being conservative, you're waiting for something like an 8-hour open and close, either below 38.80 or an 8-hour open and close below something like 37.80. That's when you're entering into a short. If you're trying to catch the top, then it's just a risk, man. It's just a gamble because you're trying to short from a high price, but you always have to be on the lookout for things like SFPs. Traditionally, like we've already had an SFP on the 15-minute time frame right here. So we've put in a range high, we put in a slightly higher high right here. It gets sold into immediately. We try to come up and test it again. It gets sold into immediately. In my opinion, the correct setup would be to assume in between here and here, all spikes up are opportunities to short. That would be the classically correct setup. So, I mean, if you were looking for a liquidity grab, let's go to something like the 3-hour chart, and we'll use ATR to manage risk. So $46.81. What's our local high? 39.72. What the? 39.72 exactly? Oh, crazy. 39.72 exactly. What did I say? $46.81. 418.81. So that's one ATR above price, above the local high. So one way to look at this is you could set your entry here and have your stop loss there. You're trying to grab in on liquidity. Alternatively, you can just, I mean, that's one way to do it. If you're going to blindly buy, is set limit orders here, 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 and here. It just depends on, do you have the, you know, like what's your trading strategy? If you're, again, if you're looking to enter into a positional short, you're looking for all spikes up in this area as opportunities to scale into your short position. Slowly in throughout this range. Basically, you're invalidated if we're starting to get above 40.96. So we'll see here, man. And the other thing we might possibly see is just Wick City, baby. Wick City, baby. Until the market takes a clear direction. If you are uncomfortable, I don't want to say uncomfortable, that sounds condescending, but if you're nervous, just take the clear breakdown at 3880, man. Take the clear breakdown at 3880 or 3850. You could take the breakdown of the horizontal trend line at 3780 or 3800. Or, I mean, if you want to be really super conservative, look to enter short below 3650 or 3550. That's getting back in bearish control zone, and if we enter there, we're going. I would posit that we go much lower, man. Crazy Cam. I didn't see your Breaking Bad question. I saw you had a question that got deleted by one of the moderators, so. Sure, D-Moba. The way that I utilize a mental stop loss is instead of placing a hard stop on the exchange, because there's another aspect of it too. I'm often going to place my stop in an area where if price is trading above this level, my trade has been invalidated. If I place my stop and price tests it on wicking basis and gets rejected, it's a liquidity grab. Ideally, you would want to have your stop loss placed slightly above or below those levels where the market is likely to grab for liquidity. So placing your stop loss in a predictable area, so directly above swing highs or swing lows, can't do that, man. If you're going to do that, look to enter at those levels, like market makers do. Or, that's where market makers push the market to grab into liquidity. Scalping BitMEX liquidations is a fantastic scalping opportunity. Again, Bennett has some videos about that. You guys should go check them out. So there's two aspects of it. There's where you place your stop loss, and then there's the fact that you don't set a hard stop. Because if price comes up to that level, your idea is invalidated. I want the market to prove to me that I'm wrong if I'm going to take a loss. I'm not going to let the market just punk me out of my position by stop loss hunting my position. It's not going to happen. I think that it's how so many beginner traders just completely lose their shirt. Is by getting stopped out and stopped out and stopped out and stopped out. Then they lose a good entry, and then they're buying at a worse price, and they're shorting at a worse price. And it's just back and forth and back and forth. And BitMEX is notorious for it because really, having traded on regular exchanges, I mean, the wicks on BitMEX are criminal, dude. It's criminal. And it is what it is, man. It'll get better over time. Trailing stop is a so just to be further with that, whatever time frame that I'm trading on, with my mental stop, if price opens and closes above my stop loss level, then I exit the trade. Rock the cash vault. How much should you put in a BTT to not take a loss in fees on the trade? I can't. There's no way I can answer that question, man. Do I think C&D could go back to that high on the hourly? Nice 8-hour buy signal right there. But yeah, let's draw the line of best fit. That's pretty good to me. Rocking the cash bar. Early. No idea what they say. Something. Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. Sometimes you just got to go with what you got, man. All right. 3 hour. Yeah, I like that 8-hour buy signal, man. but price just got immediately sold into. Unnatural volume, strong wick to the upside, often signs of rejection. Yeah, that kind of looks like, I mean, to be honest with you, we haven't broken market structure. That kind of just looks like, you know, a pump up on the way down, just a lower high. Go back up to the high on the hourly. You got your scalp. You just got your scalp entry here, man. You'd be up about, like, what, maybe 1%, honestly. Yeah, maybe 1% right now. Bullish divergence right there as well. Actually would have got the hidden bullish divergence. A candle earlier, yeah, a candle earlier. You would have gotten the hidden bullish divergence there. So if you've taken the hidden bull, you'd be up about 2%. Potentially, it had a 2% profit potential. No, I don't like it, man. I don't really like it, to be honest with you. I would like it if we broke resistance. 3-hour time frame. Break resistance, maybe enter into a position. You've got about a 4 to 5% trade above you at 338 where I have resistance. If you instead break above that, maybe you can scale into your position and look to take profit. The range high? Probably right here, actually. Probably front run that right. Oh, come on. But that's Operation Moon Mission. To be honest with you, I don't really like it, man. It just looks like more of the same on the way down. Excuse me. Don't I think that Bitcoin looks to be forming a giant ascending wedge from about the beginning of the 19th? Mm-hmm. I guess kind of. Like this. No, not really, man. But if it was, I mean, ascending wedges are bearish patterns, so that would fit with my bias. So, but no, I don't really see how you can. Again, everybody draws trend lines differently, so I'm not trying to come across like, oh, you're stupid, man. It's not there. No, but I really just don't genuinely see that pattern. I mean, you could potentially draw a line of good fit here, kind of like this. Would be pretty good, yeah. Line of good fit right there. And I guess if you look at it like that, potentially something like an ascending triangle. So that would mean we'd have to get a nice open and close above 39.54 to look for a break to the upside. And then again, stupid moves. We don't do measured moves. We do something like this. Oh, no. Double up. Take them up. Got aggressive and there we go. That would potentially give you targets of 40.47, 41.36, and 42.25. Conservatively, aggressively, 40.96, 42.30, and 43.63. For me personally, again, I'm going to be buying the breakout of the horizontal. So maybe you mean ascending triangle? Could potentially see that. So maybe we'll buy the breakout. Not me, though. Probably won't buy the breakout. Close to resistance. interesting that Bitcoin paints a pattern that Ethereum does not reflect. So you see, you know, again, this stuff's subjective. So if you say that this is not a break in market structure, that this is just a fake out, by all rights, you could have drawn the resistance line as I drew it and seen this as an ascending triangle. And I know what Investopedia says, guys. Like ascending triangles are bullish formations that break out to the upside. Well, meh. No, did not happen. So we'll see, guys. Oh, shite. Oh. What do I think about Holochain? I have no opinion on it, except for the fact that I made about 2% off the USDT pair the other day. Is it the next generation blockchain? Is it the world economy? Is it the future of the world economy? Fucking doubt it. I'll trade anything, man. I'll trade dog poop coin, but Doge has yet to have another hard fork, so I'm gonna have to wait on dog poop coin. Yeah, I'm not really an interested buyer yet. Again, we took this trade, very, very, very tight trade. This was the trade we took. 15-minute overbought because this just did get listed. So when something's freshly listed, there's a lot of volatility. But this is overall price discovery, man. This might not be bad right here. 15-minute buy signal right here. Higher low. Doesn't look too bad, man. Higher low and lower high. So a little bit of, if you're connecting these two dots, which is not technically how you're supposed to do it, but higher low, lower high. So a little bit of hidden bullish divergence there as well. Excuse me. Excuse me. Man, that's that 2 eggs coming back. Maybe take this up to like 14,607, 14,341. Might not be a bad idea. If you're looking for a day trade. Be about 2 or 3%, which is all in a day's work, man. Otherwise, I'm just going to wait till we get back up here above the range. So with HRT USDT, I'll probably buy the breakout of 148. Maybe add to my position at 1.5. Question. All right. Do I see a head and shoulders formation on the app? And then I'll talk about XRP, bro. On that. Look at the 15-minute chart for a little bit more clarity. I mean, yeah, it could work. I mean, technically, you had a head and shoulders right here. Didn't play out. And technically, you're maybe printing another head and shoulders right here, and it hasn't played out yet. But if you're talking about this, and this, yeah, it's congruent with exactly what I was saying, though. You know, you buy the breakdown at 38 or short the breakdown at 38.50. And your stop loss would technically go, or if you were playing the head and shoulders, so if this is your left shoulder and your head and your right shoulder, you would typically wait. Well, if your right shoulder is formed, you would have been really selling right here, and your stop loss is up here. Your stop loss is right here above your right shoulder, either on a closing basis or a wicking basis. Doesn't look like that's played very well for you guys. I'm kind of interested to see if this this pseudo ascending triangle might break to the upside. Now let's see this one. All right. Just for funsies. Just for funsies. Put that on there. And $46.81. 46.81. I just said it right here, actually. Do the funnies. And it's hot as hell in here. Well, I guess you want to buy toward the top. That would be the setup. I shall not to take that. I shall not to take that, sir. That's my plan, man. Rohit, that's my plan, brother. Ha! What do Bitcoin users shampoo with? Head and Shoulders, man. That's good, dude. Okay. No, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not going to look at any more. I'm not going to look at any more altcoins. Getting too close to the end of the show. We've done a ton. No, I will look at BNB just real quick so I can talk about exactly what I've been saying for a while, guys. I don't care. We are at the point now where I no longer care how much higher BNB goes up. Getting sold into like a madman right now. Same thing that we talked about yesterday, dude. Irrational exuberance, man. SFP, grab for liquidity, man. This I would highly expect this to come down to $9.39. ICOs in 5 days, or excuse me, 4 days. Could pump, could dump. I don't care. I'm not touching it. It's been a good run, dude. What the fuck is wrong with people, dude? It's up 132%. Dude, what do we do? 2, 3 trades on BNB? That's enough. We're good. Thank you. Bye. Yeah, I generally do, man. Like, I base my analysis on USDT. Generally. It's not super different. See, USDT, in my opinion, moves the market. I don't like the Coinbase chart. I don't think the Coinbase chart moves the market. That's other markets, in my opinion. There's more volume, more people trading them, and they move faster. Me and Mal figured this out. We sat here and watched, well, he did, and then I did as well. Watch these suckers on the 1 minute chart. And Binance USDT pairs move, Ethereum and BTC, and then Coinbase moves. How come Bitcoins only eat French fries? They hate forks. Okay, so yeah, I don't care, man. BNB could pump, could dump. I don't care. I'm done with it until after the ICO. And then we'll try to evaluate after things become a little bit more sane and rational. From a technical perspective, above $11.80, if we pull back and reclaim that area, I don't see anything holding us back from 1488 and 1659. Likely pull back now to 939 or 835 if we do pull back down from here. But it doesn't really matter to me personally because I will not go near this now with a 5-foot pole because of the proximity to the ICO. Things are good, man. We'll take a quick glance at XRP. Haven't taken any trades on XRP since. And I'm so glad, dude. So glad, man. Last night, what was it? Last night, I was talking to somebody. Yeah, did a nice little 15-minute trade. What nice little 7% trade there. But somebody said, I think, what was it? They wanted to go long above here. But I did not do that. I could be wrong. I could be completely misrepresenting the topic, but I'm just glad, man. XRP is a kryptonite coin, man. Much better to trade the Tether pair. Let's look at Tether, excuse me. Let's look at ZERP quickly on the daily. Yep, so hit my first upside target. This level right here is, now I have to accurately label it, is a action level zone. So daily time frame right here, if price moved above 32 cents for me, I said we could most likely see 34. Pumped up nicely to 34 with a stop loss at 31.3178 so 31 cents, 0.78. Right now, you know, I kind of like this, I'm not going to lie. I do kind of like this. Even though I have to be realistic here, we have unnatural volume and a long wick to the upside, which is generally a reversal pattern. And we have, I mean, just your basic swing high pattern right here. I'm going to keep my eyes on this because I do like the clear resistance level right here. Very important, clear resistance level here on the daily time frame. The test, and then not the massive like rejection below, like actual like testing of that area. Still have to take the actual breakout for confirmed movement to the upside, but then I'd retake profits at 34 and 36. I like this. I'm not going to lie. Could completely just dump on my face. In fact, the 8 hours, you know, obviously the 8 hours telling me to be the way the hell out of the trade. But I'm going to keep my eye on this, guys. If we get down here below, I think if we reject from this level, I'll probably put on a short. ZERP H19 seems logical to me. But if we break above, I might buy underlying spot. I might underlie by spot. In fact, what I might do is if we pull back here, depending on what we do here, I might buy underlying and short. That's probably what I'll do. I might buy the underlying and then short. What's the, wonder if the market's there. Oh, because I'm looking stupid. Because I'm looking at the Tether pair. Anyways, maybe an analysis for a further time. So I'm not interested in being a buyer right now. I would be interested in being a buyer. Well, broke that. Pretty good sign here. Ascending trend line, broken to the upside, pulled back as support. I don't really like how we're waffling down though. Higher time frame analysis. Let's get the 8 hour to close above 32,802, and then I might become an interested buyer. Yep. I need to not see this rejection. Yeah, I need to not see all these wicks, man. I need to see some nice follow through on a natural volume. Good opportunity here. Put a hidden bullish divergence right on that candle. Nice little quick scalp. Better opportunity was up here though. Didn't really get any buy signals except for a little bit of bullish divergence here, but that's very short term. What about the 8? Did 8 give me any? Well, 8 put me in here. Any Hoosers. Yeah. I don't really want to do anything. I just kind of want to sit on my hands. We're just in that danger zone. Right into the danger zone. Jonathan Krause, stupid question. There are no such things, sir. The only stupid question is, hey man, did you hear about Russia buying Bitcoin? Don't care. Which is better used, Tether or USDC? So, all right. It's an interesting question, man. There it is. Thanks, Jurgen Ernst. You have a good one, brother. Oh. Why do I hate BNB? I don't hate BNB. I love BNB. It's just a good time to sell, dude. Like, it's so close to the ICO, dude. It's nothing personal, man. I don't hate or love anything. It's just, but I mean, listen, you just got to understand as a trader, my man, I don't care about BNB or BCH or XRP or anything. I do care about Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin can change the world. But do I think like BNB is going to be like the future of the next world? No, I think it's going to be good to hold and everything, but just not. I don't know. I don't look at everything like I'm going to buy and hold coins. No, I buy and I get in and I get out. Maybe that's not the right approach for some people. All I can do is just trade the technicals. So my perspective might be different from yours. But I'd rather sell a local top and make a tidy profit rather than, hold something through 30% down, 80%. Sorry, guys. I don't really want to look at it. Bitcoin. Oh. Scott, you're right. It did not send for some odd reason. Resending. Laser warming up. Yeah, I went over Ethereum, man. Okay, man. Usman, you've been in here for a while. I will look. 1 minute left in the show, but Well, let's look. We'll just look at real quickly at Mana BTC. Oh, so that answers the question right away. Should you buy? The hard fork's coming? No. Is a hard fork coming up? No. Everybody's already selling. Generally. No. Looks bad, dude. It's bad. That it's nice run. It's getting close to support, man. So maybe we can start keeping our eyes on it. But again, and I'm sorry if maybe come. Hey, bro, come in tomorrow, man. And if we get it in, man, I'll do a fuller analysis. I could redo this chart. I haven't redone Mana in a while. But 24 hour, not telling you to buy. 8 hour. You had to buy here on the 8 hour. You're coming back down. You're getting oversold on the 8 hour, and you are putting in a local bottom. Might potentially be an okay purchase, but okay, I'm not going to say that shit because I'm not. I know I'm not going to give this the full time to give an analysis, man. But potentially getting oversold on the 8 hour. Coming down to the 3 hour, you did just throw in a couple buys right here, and hidden and a little bit of a little bit of hidden bullish divergence here, but that was a very short play. Yeah, and overall, man, I mean, you're just trending to the downside. I haven't seen any strong indications that this is broken. That broke, so get rid of that. Seems like the current trend line, something like this. So pretty much, yeah, just our pitchfork horizontal here, man. Yeah, man, I'm really not a buyer on a shorter term time frame until we cross this line of the pitchfork, which is coming in around like 10-13, maybe like 10-10, or 11-12, dude. At 11-12, I potentially become a possible buyer with targets of like 12-40 and 13-32. But I'd be front running 13-32, man, unless I get a pretty clear buy signal. Potentially, if we do start turning up from here, like I said, we're on that 8 hour oversold level. Haven't put in the crossover yet because price has not begun moving up. And we haven't really seen any unnatural volume to the downside to signify a local bottom, but that would be a lower high. If we do start moving up from there, you could take a speculative buy, man. But just on its face, it doesn't look fantastic to me. But you know, come in tomorrow, maybe we can do a fuller analysis, man. But I gotta get jumping. Nope, no more. Absolutely not. Done. Over with. You guys are amazing. Sorry, Usman. Hopefully that's helpful, man. But generally, as a general rule, man, when there's an event coming up like a hard fork, like absolutely not, dude. I would buy like, you know, if the hard fork's coming up in just a few days, absolutely not interested. Absolutely not interested. Scott, for some reason that text message is not going through, dude. But no, tell me. I'll talk to you in the DM after this. Yeah, I would say that 80% of people who trade in generally get wrecked because there's not a lot of good education out there. You have things like Investopedia, which tell you to trade cup and handles and holders. I've never heard anybody come onto the floor of the CME and say, "Hey guys, cup and handle." Goldman Sachs put $10 million on a cup and handle pattern. Doesn't happen, man. Retail traders trade that stuff. Anyways, you guys are fantastic and awesome. Make sure, guys, come in tomorrow, man. I'm happy to do all your requests, or hop in the Discord, man. Discord.krakencryptocurrency.com, guys. If you guys got some chart requests, post them in there. When I get some time, I'd be happy to go over them. We also have other analysts and traders in there as well as some fantastic people in there. That'd be more than happy to help you out. Cool. All right, not a whole lot here. Let's go over here. All right, guys, as always, make sure you guys head on over to x42.krakencryptocurrency.com. We are still giving away 5 master nodes worth of x42. proud supporters of the show, so very happy to be doing this with them. You can log in just x42.krakencryptocurrency.com. You can log in using any of your existing social media sites. You can just visit our website, krakencryptocurrency.com. The big pop-up comes up, brings you right to the page. 11 days left to get in, guys. I think that I don't have a whole lot of experience with doing a lot of staking, but I do just to be quite honest, I do have some X42 and I've been staking it. They came in, supported the show, donated some coins to the cause, and they're good people, man. It's good development. So not a recommendation to buy, not asking you to buy anything. Don't go out and buy X42, not telling you to do that. What I am telling you to do is, if you guys are passionate about cryptocurrency and you want the community to grow, find nice, cool projects that you like where they're good people and support them in any way that you can. Like follow them on Twitter. It doesn't cost you anything to follow somebody on Twitter. We're pumping. I don't know. Like lower lows, lower highs to me, dude. Like, I mean, could be. I don't see it yet. Don't see it yet. Let's see here. Love you too, man. All right, moving on. Let's go to, okay, that's about it. Okay, so let's end the show. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and spending your time for me, spending your time with me. Hopefully this has been a helpful program today. Of course, I'm Justin Wise, lead analyst and your mentor at krakencryptocurrency.com with another breaking Bitcoin market update. General stuff at the end of the show. If you guys have any... if you guys enjoy the content, if this is your first time and you appreciate what we're doing here and you'd like to help support us, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and the subscribe button, notification bell. We're here live every day, guys. Help us, the thumbs up really do help get that content out there in front of the eyeballs that I think need to see it the most. If you'd like to support us in a more substantial way, please head on over to twitch.tv/KrakenCrypto. Give us a follow or a subscription over there. Helps keep the lights on. You can also help keep the lights on by checking out our Patreon. Links in the description down below, or by picking up a coffee mug or t-shirt like this one on the website, guys. KrakenCryptocurrency.com/merch. I have heard, scientists have told me that drinking your morning coffee out of a Kraken Cryptocurrency coffee mug will make your trades 85% more profitable and your looks 90% more attractive. So, don't have any documentation to back that up, but seems correct on its face. If you guys would like to, oh shoot, I keep clicking the wrong thing, man. If you guys would like to trade with us, man, if you'd like to have access to all our signals and setups, the Members Lounge VIP day trading voice chat, as well as the Members Lounge chat room, our premium curated news, our technical and fundamental analysis, one-on-one mentorship and support, and our educational webinar series designed to teach individuals to become profitable traders from scratch, you can, of course, check out premium.krakencryptocurrency.com. All the information is on the website, or join us in the Discord at discord.krakencryptocurrency.com. That's all for me, guys. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, opinion suggestions, or death threats, make sure to leave them in the comments section down below. And until tomorrow, guys, make sure you trade safely. And we'll see. I might be buying some Bitcoin. Probably not. Anyways, moving on. Later, guys.